Welcome back to AI Breakdown, the podcast where we dive into the latest research papers and demystify the complex world of artificial intelligence. I'm Megan.
And I'm Ray. Today's menu has something pretty thrilling. A paper that explores the idea of incorporating logical reasoning into language models. Feels a bit like science fiction, doesn't it, Megan?
It does sound a bit like that, Ray, but this is reality, not fiction. The paper we're discussing is titled, Language Models Can Be Logical Solvers, fresh from the labs and printed on arxiv. I must admit, it's an exciting read.
Logical reasoning, that's our daily drill, isn't it? We solve tiny problems, make choices, all using it. So, Megan, how do these researchers plan to teach this capacity to language models?
Well, Ray, traditionally, language models would understand a question in natural language, convert or parse that question into symbolic logic. Then an external logical solver gets handed the baton to find the answer.
I see. So these are the solver-augmented language models? But correct me if I'm wrong, they often stumble at the parsing stage, which messes up the subsequent steps, right?
That's it, Ray. To address this problem, the authors introduce a new model, the LOGIPT. It's designed to learn logical reasoning without external assistance. This way it bypasses the risk of those parsing errors completely.
Groundbreaking indeed. So how does LOGIPT pull this off?
Here's how. They compile an instruction tuning dataset. This dataset features natural language questions paired with symbolic reasoning process. It's like putting logical solvers' computations under a microscope and enabling the language model to learn from them.
So they then tailor open source language models with this data, letting them in on the secrets of logical solvers.
Right, with this, the model learns to mirror these reasoning processes, and what it's doing isn't mere mimicry, it's actually capable of generating all the implied facts given some premises and rules.
Now that's a game changer. Being able to generate implied facts must be quite an optimization for the system.
Absolutely. And here's the icing on the cake. When the authors measured LOGIPT's performance against two public deductive reasoning datasets, it outperformed those solver-augmented language models and even some few-shot prompting methods on competitive LLMs like ChatGPT or GPT-4.
Wait a minute, outperformed? As in exceeded the performance of existing best models?
Yep, it didn't just keep pace. LOGIPT was leading.
So in summary, Megan, the main takeaway from the paper is this LOGIPT model, a language model with an inherent capacity for logical deduction.
That's it, Ray, and it's a big deal because it opens up possibilities for AI to reason through problems the way humans would typically do, potentially making AIs even more useful.
That's a heady mix of exhilarating and a bit scary. But mostly it's fascinating. Is this going to bring significant shifts in how we use AI for daily problem solving?
There's certainly potential, Ray. Consider fields like law, programming, or even medicine, spherical arenas of strict logic where LOGIPT can play its part in improving complex problem solving.
I'm sincerely impressed, and may I add, a bit envious of LOGIPT's reasoning skills.
Don't sweat, Ray. I think you're okay. At least for the time being, but who knows, maybe the next paper on this podcast will be about an AI co-host.
All right, I'll brace for it, but fellow listeners, that's all the time we have today. Do check out the full paper on arxiv if you're as intrigued as we are.
Remember to hit subscribe to keep pace with all the latest AI research. We'll always be here, breaking down the big ideas for you. Until next time, I'm Megan.
This is Ray. Keep those gears turning.